I'm going to walk you through writing your very first C++ program. If you have written a C++ program before, of course, you can just pretend this is your first. But if you haven't, then this will be very simple, very straightforward. And assuming that you have a C++ compiler, you will be 9/10 of the way through with running your first C++ program. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just get my text editor up and get a new file, which I'm going to call, and let's go back to my directories. See, I'm going to go to home. We're going to call this hello.cpp, and of course everybody makes a hello program first. You can use any text editor you like. I happen to be using Sublime. All right, first thing, include iostream, and that is going to tell C++ that we want it to make it easy on us to use some commands that do input and output in things called streams. All you need to know is that you write include angle brackets iostream at the beginning of a file when you need certain commands available. This can tell C++ that I don't want to prefix those commands with anything long. I just want to use them. And we'll get more into how this works with the library later, but for now you can just take it on faith, right? Using namespace. STD stands for standard in this case. And int main. I'm going to do a little trick here. All right, so this int tells the program that main is going to return an integer type. The trick is that we're going to use the input and output, and we're really writing main to get something else out of it. So we're just going to return 0. That's the integer. And then I'm going to say this, cout, the less than, or whatever, those are directional arrows showing something goes to cout. Hello. And if you don't like hello world programs, then say something else. Hello Mars. Okay. And now we put a semicolon. Notice we put a semicolon at the end of almost every line. That's just how C++ works. We'll get more into that later. For now, you just need to know when a command is over, at the end of the line, put a semicolon. Okay, so what we have here is a main function. You don't have a C++ program per se until you have a main function. You have maybe a library with functions that you can call, but you don't have a program that the operating system will just know to run it until it has what we call an entry point, which is what main is. When you name a function main, then it becomes that central kickoff for a program. So I don't have to have other functions in here, but I do have to have main. So I can now run this program because it has that main function. Second of all, I prefixed it with int. I said this main function is going to return an integer. Now, the trick to that is I really just wanted it to do cout, which is print to the standard console. Do this stream thing, and I want it to print this to basically, how do I explain this? It's the primary out. There are other streams and there are other places to write, and you'll learn all about that with more on input and output. But this is going to be for a while the most commonly used, and it's one that you can go to and see real quickly and easily information about the running of your program. And it'll just show up there in the console where we're going to be running these programs from in a minute. So I'm I'm not going to get into actually running this program just yet. I just want you to see what it took to get a completed program, what the components of that were, and the other things that we did to interact with C++ to shape the result that we wanted. And in the next video, I'm going to show you what that's like when we actually run this. We're most of the way there, but it's so important that you learn to a point that this stuff just becomes automatic. So you know just like I said, automatic, but you know it at a muscle memory level how to compile because it can't be there can't be the least bit of resistance to this compilation process because you're going to do it over and over and over. So, making a little program like this and then compiling and running, you need to just have down the details so that you don't think about what it all means. That's why we're explaining what it all means in detail right now with a few steps. So, in the next video, we're going to take this program and we're going to actually compile that. So I will see you in the next video where we get started running this program.